Hey guys, it's Matt LaRosiere with Firearms Policy Coalition bringing you a weekly update, just to make sure you guys have all the latest information on everything affecting your right to keep and bear arms. Now, it is the new year. I hope you guys enjoyed the holidays, had a great new year, and didn't get into too heated of a discussion with your families over your various dinner tables. But new year means a lot of new laws take effect. Including that, we have Nevada. We're busy. We got a red flag law now on the books. We have a bump stock ban. Okay. Whatever. Safe storage provision, and worst of all, they're now requiring nearly all private firearm transfers be conducted through an FFL. This is basically like a backdoor universal background check position. We wrote a policy paper on a lot of these things, which you should check out on our website. Basically, it's all a bad idea. There is a group, though, Nevadans Can, which is attempting to stop this, and they have filed a lawsuit, and we wish them the best of luck. Hawaii, they implemented their own red flag law. This one is pretty extreme, though. Not only, cops, friends, family, this includes doctors and even your neighbors can solicit the state to have you raided and have your property stolen without due process of law. And what are those risk factors that can have your firearms taken under Hawaii's new law? Well, they include the usual things, as well as stuff like reckless firearms storage, new gun purchases, DUI and public intoxication. These are a lot of weird things that can lead to your house being raided and your property stolen. Especially like reckless firearm storage? What is that? Anyway, dumb law, bad policy. Tennessee, on the other hand, we've got some good news. They have relaxed their burdensome concealed carry weapons permitting process, made it a little easier to get a permit to carry a weapon concealed. Now, of course, it would be better if they just got rid of it altogether, but progress is progress. California, are you under 21? Well, you're not a real adult, at least according to the state. They have banned the sale of all centerfire semi-automatic rifles to anyone under the age of 21. This is really strange when you have this dual system of when are you an adult in this country. If you're going to pick an age, you should pick one and stick to it. This 18 to 21 thing is ridiculous. 18-year-olds are adults. They have been forever under our Constitution. So there's no reason to treat people differently from 18 to 21. It's just bad law, bad policy all around. Moving on, interestingly, the Fort Worth shooting has ignited the nation's gun debate. This was a shooting in a church in Texas where a man had brought in a shotgun and intended to kill congregation goers, and he did murder people there. He got a shot or two off and was then immediately taken down by an armed guard there at the church. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this video, but it's just bizarre that this is causing people to rethink Texas gun law. Just recently, they allowed people to carry their firearms in church, and it seems that this man who stopped the threat immediately saved a lot of lives. We thought when we first saw this story that, it was stopped by an armed person carrying a weapon. I guess this will be brushed under the rug, but it seems the gun control crowd may have jumped the shark. They're talking about this, and Bloomberg has reported on it, talking about how only cops should have guns. This is just weird. It used to be that we could assume that when a crisis like this was stopped by an armed person, stopped short of, harming more people, that the gun controllers would stay quiet. But for some reason, they're speaking up. This is very strange, and it doesn't make much sense. It seems that Texas's change in policies allowed this man to stop people from being harmed. What's being argued against it, I struggle to understand, but that's been happening. And on to the state of Virginia, where one of our favorite recurring characters in our constant fight for our civil rights, Governor Northam, has come under fire because in the new budget, they had set aside several $1 million for the establishment of an 18-man gun law task force to enforce whatever new laws they're planning on pushing through. This is, of course, after 91% of the state's counties have communicated very clearly they have no interest in enforcing these new laws. And on top of that, several counties in the state have resolved to form militias. Whatever these people are saying, Mr. Northam, I don't think it's that they support this policy. Maybe you should calm down and come back never. Next up, we have something affecting my home country of Florida. Since 1987 in this state, we have had preemption of local firearms restrictions that are stiffer than state restrictions. Now, this is to prevent cities and local governments from creating a minefield for gun owners to go through. You don't want to be perfectly legal in one city and then drive to work and have what you're doing cause problems for you. That's totally reasonable, especially when it's something affecting your fundamental human rights. Now, in 2011, the state passed a law creating fines and penalties for cities that broke the law and made stricter laws anyway. So what do you do if you are a city in Florida, perhaps the city Orlando, where FPC's Florida office is based in right now, and you really want to create stricter gun laws? Well, naturally, you follow the law and you don't do it. But what if you really want to do it super bad and you don't want to get in trouble? Well, you do what these Florida municipal governments do, and you band together and sue to prevent the assessment of these fines against you. Now, you wouldn't do this because you're planning on breaking the law. Oh no, you're doing this because you're trying to advance this new theory of immunity from fines for elected office because of some theory on integrity, right? Because we need the integrity to break the law, to whatever, I don't know. What's really interesting is that the state agricultural commissioner, Nikki Fried, who many Floridians will know from plastering her face all over every gas pump in the state, has backed the cities. She wants cities to be able to do this without recourse. And also, she's responsible for issuing concealed handgun permits in the state. That's fun. This is all preposterous. It's nonsense. There's nothing more to say about it. And lastly, fighting for your rights on social media. A lot of you are familiar with this problem. What do you do when you want to advocate for something and you're using a program that doesn't really see it from your point of view? It can be a hard thing to navigate through. It's an interesting discussion. Chuck Rossi, co-founder of Open Source Defense, sat down with Cam Edwards to discuss this. And it's a pretty interesting discussion. I recommend you guys check it out. You can find a link to that and everything else we've talked about here in the description, where you can find a link back to Firearms Policy's weekly roundup, where every week we bring you the important news and updates to just make sure you guys have the best current information to keep you in the fight. Until next time, I've been Matt LaRosiere with Firearms Policy Coalition, where we're keeping up the fight for all of your rights all the time. I'll see you real soon.